People with a genius-level IQ often display unusual cognitive patterns that may seem strange to others but feel completely natural to them. Their minds tend to operate in layers, constantly analyzing information from multiple angles at once. This depth of thought can make simple conversations feel shallow, pushing them toward introspection and complex inner dialogues. One common habit among highly intelligent individuals is excessive reflection. They replay conversations, decisions, and ideas repeatedly, not out of insecurity, but because their brains are wired to search for deeper meaning. This habit allows them to detect patterns and insights that others may overlook. Another strange tendency is getting lost in thought for long periods of time. Genius-level thinkers often drift into mental worlds where ideas connect freely, sometimes appearing distracted or detached from their surroundings. In reality, their minds are actively constructing new concepts and associations. Highly intelligent people also tend to question everything. They rarely accept information at face value, preferring to analyze assumptions and challenge established norms. This constant questioning can be misunderstood as skepticism or defiance, when it is actually a sign of advanced cognitive processing. Silence is often a preferred state for people with high IQs. They use quiet moments to organize thoughts, simulate outcomes, and explore abstract ideas. What may look like social withdrawal is frequently a deliberate choice to preserve mental clarity. Another habit linked to high intelligence is overthinking future possibilities. These individuals naturally run mental simulations of potential outcomes, which helps them plan effectively but can also make them appear anxious or overly cautious to others. They often enjoy thinking about hypothetical or philosophical questions that have no clear answers. This attraction to ambiguity reflects a comfort with complexity and uncertainty, traits strongly associated with high intellectual ability. Many genius-level thinkers also struggle with decision paralysis. Because they can see so many possible consequences, making even simple choices can take longer. This is not indecisiveness, but rather an overflow of cognitive input. Their thinking is often nonlinear, jumping between ideas in ways that seem random but are actually deeply interconnected. This can make their reasoning hard to follow, even though it is internally consistent. Ultimately, these unusual cognitive habits reflect a mind that is constantly active, curious, and driven to understand the world at a deeper level, even if that comes at the cost of appearing strange to others. Highly intelligent people often display social behaviors that can seem unusual or awkward. They may prefer deep, meaningful conversations over small talk, which can make casual social interactions feel draining or uninteresting to them. One strange habit is social selectivity. Genius-level individuals often maintain a small social circle, not because they dislike people, but because they value intellectual compatibility and emotional depth over quantity. They may also appear blunt or overly honest. This directness is usually not intentional rudeness, but a reflection of their tendency to prioritize truth and clarity over social conventions. Another common behavior is discomfort in large groups. Crowded social environments can overwhelm their senses and interrupt their thought processes, leading them to seek solitude or quieter settings. Highly intelligent individuals often feel out of sync with societal norms. They may question traditions, social expectations, and unspoken rules, which can make them seem rebellious or eccentric. They are also more likely to enjoy spending time alone. Solitude allows them to recharge mentally and explore ideas without interruption, which is essential for their cognitive well-being. Many people with high IQ struggle with feeling misunderstood. Their way of thinking and communicating can differ so much from the norm that they find it difficult to fully connect with others. They may avoid superficial relationships and social games, preferring authenticity and depth. This can lead others to perceive them as distant or aloof, even when they care deeply. Another strange social habit is a tendency to observe rather than participate. Highly intelligent people often analyze social dynamics quietly before engaging, which helps them understand people on a deeper level. Despite appearing socially odd, these behaviors often reflect a strong internal world and a preference for meaningful human connection rather than constant social stimulation. Emotionally, individuals with a genius-level IQ tend to experience the world with heightened intensity and awareness. Their emotional responses are often layered and complex, shaped by their ability to perceive subtle details that others may miss. This depth can make emotions feel heavier but also more meaningful. One distinctive habit is emotional overanalysis. Highly intelligent people rarely experience emotions at a surface level. Instead, they dissect their feelings, searching for causes, patterns, and implications. This constant internal analysis can lead to emotional clarity, but it can also create inner tension. They often possess a deep sense of empathy, sometimes to an overwhelming degree. Because they can easily imagine themselves in other situations, they absorb emotional energy from their environment, which can be mentally exhausting over time. Existential thinking is another common trait. Genius-level individuals frequently reflect on life, purpose, morality, and mortality, even during ordinary moments. This tendency can lead to profound insight, but it may also bring periods of sadness or emotional fatigue. Boredom affects them more intensely than most people. Repetitive routines, shallow conversations, and unchallenging environments can create emotional restlessness, pushing them to seek novelty, meaning, or creative outlets. Perfectionism often accompanies high intelligence. These individuals set extremely high standards for themselves, not out of vanity, but from a desire to align reality with their ideal vision. When those standards are not met, self-criticism can emerge. They may feel emotionally isolated, even when surrounded by others. Their way of thinking and feeling can be so different that genuine emotional connection feels rare, leading to a quiet sense of loneliness. Another emotional habit is delayed emotional processing. Instead of reacting immediately, highly intelligent people often suppress emotional responses until they have fully understood the situation, which can make them seem emotionally distant. Imposter syndrome is also common. Despite clear evidence of intelligence, they may constantly doubt their abilities, driven by their awareness of how vast and complex knowledge truly is. Overall, these emotional traits reflect a mind that feels deeply, thinks intensely, and constantly navigates the intersection between logic and emotion, often carrying an emotional weight invisible to others. In everyday life, individuals with a genius-level IQ often develop routines that appear unconventional or even chaotic to others. These habits are not random, but rather the result of minds that prioritize deep thinking, creativity, and autonomy over structure and predictability. Their daily lives are shaped by how their brains naturally function, not by social expectations. Sleep patterns are frequently irregular among highly intelligent people. Many experience heightened mental clarity late at night, when distractions are minimal and the world feels quieter. This nocturnal productivity allows them to explore complex ideas, reflect deeply, and enter creative states that are difficult to access during the day. Their living and working spaces often look cluttered, yet this apparent disorder usually follows an internal logic. Objects are placed where they trigger memories, ideas, or inspiration, creating an environment that stimulates creative association rather than visual order. Self-talk is another common habit. Highly intelligent individuals often engage in internal or spoken conversations with themselves as a way to organize thoughts, test ideas, and mentally rehearse scenarios. This process strengthens problem-solving and deepens self-awareness. Procrastination in genius minds rarely means inactivity. Instead, it often involves subconscious processing, where ideas are quietly refined beneath the surface. When they finally act, the execution is fast, precise, and surprisingly efficient. Information consumption is nearly constant. Highly intelligent people feel a strong pull toward learning, often moving between unrelated topics simply out of curiosity. This broad intake of knowledge allows them to form unique connections that fuel innovation. Rigid schedules and strict routines can feel mentally restrictive. Genius-level thinkers tend to follow their natural energy cycles, working intensely when focus peaks and resting when mental fatigue sets in, even if this clashes with conventional productivity models. Another strange but common habit is neglecting basic needs during deep focus. Meals, sleep, and social messages may be forgotten when attention is fully absorbed by a challenging problem or creative task. Solitary physical activities such as walking, driving, or showering often serve as thinking rituals. These moments allow the mind to wander freely, enabling insights to surface without conscious effort. Ultimately, these lifestyle quirks reveal a way of living centered on intellectual freedom, inner exploration, and creative depth. While these habits may seem strange or impractical to others, they reflect minds finely tuned for complexity, originality, and long-term insight.